Listening to BearatNight podcast with your host, Jurassic Parker.
This is the BearatNight podcast, and I have a very, very special guest here tonight, however you're going to listen to it. I'd like to change things up a little bit. Once you think you have this show figured out, I'm going to switch it on you. And this is one of those guests that I've been waiting for quite the longest time right now. Ever since I've heard her song, I actually sent her song before from a friend of mine, and I didn't know she was this good. I didn't know she was this talented. Matter of fact, I didn't know she could do any of this stuff. Looks can be deceiving. Like just because she has a pretty face doesn't mean anything. She has talent. There's a lot of talent behind this pretty face. A nice voice. The songwriting is great, and I was impressed, and I became a fan. And I would like to let you guys know who this lady is, who this artist is. I introduce to you guys Madeline Hogan.
How you guys doing? Hi.
Somehow there's cheering and stuff. They're there. So they're applauding. But how are you doing?
I hear them applauding. I'm good. Just chilling, just drinking my coffee and stuff.
It's been crazy trying to get the scheduling right, between us for a while, but we're here, and I'm finally happy. I'm really happy that we got to do this, and it's just one of those things, like, for what I know you from, and it's just like, it's really dope to see that you have this super dope ass talent, and from a old musician myself and songwriter, I really cling to those type of people, like people like yourself that do that, and and actually put their heart out on their songs, and you can hear it, you can vibe to it. It's like, okay, this is definitely meaningful, and I'm impressed, colorfully impressed. What was the song? I'm like trying to make sure I have it. I'm Still Alive. That was the song.
Oh,
that was sent to me, and I was like, "Oh!" At first, I was like, "Wait, she looks familiar," and then I realized, "Oh, I know her." The video was really done well, and the song was like really good. It was just really, really good. It wasn't no BS. Like, it was really good, and like I really fucked with it. I was like, okay, she's really got something going. And then to come out, you got a whole album coming out. What's the name of the album right now?
It's called Albion Nights.
Albion. Okay. Can you give me
the background?
Yes, because I was trying to make sure I didn't pronounce it wrong.
Well, no. If you live in Albion, like people that live there say Albion, but if you're there in prison, you say Albion. So therefore, I say Albion. Like my parents, my parents are from Western New York, and they're from like maybe less than an hour from there, so they say Albion. But Albion. If you're from wherever, especially from the city, like, oh, we're going to Albion, blah, blah. I apologize. The camera is like so blurry too. Shit.
It's all right. It's all up. Hey, we got it for video and audio, so they're gonna get to hear you no matter what. Get your message out no matter what. Take us, like, how long have you been playing the guitar? How long have you been writing songs? Like, what's the process? How long you been doing this?
So, okay, that's kind of a long answer. So,
hey, I'm here for you. We good.
Word, yeah. So I'm 33. That's my real age. My work age is whatever you guess.
She does not look it.
My work age is whatever you guess. I'm 25. Yeah, I'm 25. Yeah, sure, whatever. Just ask me a 90s trivia question. You'll believe that I'm 25. But,
okay. I will hold you to that.
No, I've been playing guitar since I was 13. Before that, I played viola in school and stuff, and always sang. And I went to theater camp I have like I had a foundation. I'm trying to get my music theory knowledge back, but like I have had like that foundation in musical education, like just from school.
Right.
But, like, and my dad is a big blues guy. Like both my parents are big music people. Like, but my dad was like a big blues guy, so he would always listen to that like growing up. And whenever there would be like an instrumental, I would like sing along to it when I was like even just a baby. So like, I've just been into this my whole like since I was born. But I started playing guitar when I was 13-ish, and then I kind of stopped when I was like 25. Well, honestly, I stopped like really regularly playing when I was like 21 because I'm in recovery. I've been sober for 8 years.
Well, congratulations on that one.
Thank you. But I've been sober for 8 years, so I kind of stopped when I was 21 when I started getting into heroin because I'm in recovery from heroin. But I mean, I don't do anything. Like I don't drink or anything. I tried smoking weed like once I had 7 years clean, like CBD, and it just makes me like the CBD is okay, but like it makes me paranoid, so I don't do anything really. But like, I like stopped when I was like 21 for a few years because I was like getting high. Kind of played a little bit again when I was like 25 when I started to go to rehab or whatever. But I kind of just after a year I like fell off and I didn't play for like 5, 6 years. Like I didn't up until like a year ago. Like I had stopped playing like altogether. Like I didn't think like I kind of just wasn't doing it in music at all. Like I kind of gave up. Like I lost like direction, whatever.
Right.
But I had I had this notebook full of songs that I wrote when I was in Albion for like a year and some change. And so this all goes back to when I met this dude, Lord Willin, that like got me back into music and like helped me record my whole album. Like I read him, we were just talking and I was like telling him about how I was like in theater camp or whatever. He's like, wait, do you sing? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, yo, send me something. So I just like sent him a clip or something. He was like, yo, you're really fucking good. Like you should be doing this. Like maybe I can get you on a song or whatever. And then I was like, yo, I have a whole notebook full of songs that I wrote in prison. And one day when we were hanging out, like I read them to him. He was like, yo, you got to get these down. And I was like, all right. So I started playing guitar again. Like it took me like it took me a little bit of time to like get back to where I was. And he like brought me to the studio for the first time now I live in Rhode Island, but like, I came out here, he brought me to the studio for the first time. I was still working for a nonprofit. So he even like paid, this is before I do what I do now, like, which I'm by the way, like, but, he brought me to the studio. He like paid basically for me to record most of it. I think I paid for like the final mixing, but like, so it was really just because of him. Like I just wasn't around the right people. Like I speak for me, but like being, around people that are just doing drugs and like that's their life. Like I wasn't doing anything creative, or productive or positive at all. So like I kind of just like fell off, and it was really for me just like being around the right people to like inspire and influence and encourage me to just get back into it. And mind you, like the only reason I feel like I even met him was because of actually, and how we even started talking really was about rest. I was telling you about
wrestling.
So yeah, no, because I had trained before I even got back into music. I had trained for a year to be a pro wrestler, and I was trying to do both of them for like 3-4 months.
You captured my heart, music and wrestling.
Yo, I miss wrestling. I'm not gonna lie. Like that workout, like I miss it. It's been a year. Maybe last week was a year ago since I like was in a wrestling ring training. Like the last day that I was training, and then maybe like 3 weeks later, I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going back. Like I haven't been there.
I always say to people, the training, the workouts that is intense. Like what I've seen and stuff in wrestling training and the workouts is way more intense than any other sport, I believe, because you got to do a lot, especially with the breathing and like the stamina to keep all that endurance up in a ring in a match for God knows how long the match is. Because the average fight in real life, an average fight is like a minute or less, whatever, before both people get tired and but to have that stamina to keep going the whole way, it's like you really got to train the body. And I give wrestlers the almost credit for just doing that,
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
That, and then like people that are training to be like for like actual competitive combat sports, like those two, I feel like those two are the only that I've seen, like the conditioning and training that you do for those two things.
Yeah.
I mean, wrestling is, I mean, I don't want to say justice for that. I don't know. I've never been a real, I don't know. I mean, I could street fight, but like, I never was like an actual trained fighter, like actual real competition. Like this was all theatrical, but like, I've never done that, but just based on like what I know and people I've talked to and what I've seen, like those two things are like the most intense. But like, from what I know,
it's true.
Cardio, like, yo, that cardio, I probably couldn't even hang. Like, and I still lift 3-4 days a week, and like I still back into the ring. Like, I probably couldn't even hang. Like, it would take.
You probably get blown up.
I would get blown. I would probably, like, when you're getting used to it too, like your heart's going so fast. Like, if you don't keep moving, you have to keep moving. Like, you want to fall over and die, but like you have to keep walking. And I would just walk back and forth. But like, honestly, that's how they like cut. Not true. That's how like they weed out people that aren't going to cut it.
Oh yeah. They always say, look at the left, look at the right of you, look at the left of you. One of y'all are not going to be here.
Right. Yeah, no, in the year that I was training, like there was maybe like 5 of us that started on the same day. We probably had like maybe 10 other people try to, and this is in Albany, New York, where I'm from. Like, and this school actually recently closed, which I was kind of sad about.
Oh no.
Yeah. But there was maybe 10 people that came in and out throughout the time that I was there, and like that just like couldn't hang or like didn't last, or they don't realize, like people think just because it's like staged, like they don't understand it's a sport. Like they don't just call it sports entertainment. Like it's very extremely physical.
No, like football players, like basketball players, all those type of like athletes, they try to do wrestling and then they learn how hard it really is, especially during just the training process. They ain't even learning the moves yet, just the workouts and stuff. Then like they get blown up like, oh my God, I didn't know it was like this. And you get so surprised that they think, oh, I thought it was fake and this and that, but just you didn't even get to the main stuff yet. You're just doing the workouts.
Right. And that's athletes come in. Like people, best people to come from wrestling come from other sports. Now I haven't played I hadn't played sports really since like I was in school, but just from like lifting, like honestly, during the pandemic, like it took me 3 years, probably 2 years of training and then a year waiting for the school to open back up after COVID. Right. But like motherfuckers sitting on the couch, like watching wrestling thinking like, oh, I could do that because they make it look so easy. Like if you get up off the couch and try to do that shit without any athletic background, like you're gonna hurt yourself. You're fucked. So like it took me, because like when I got sober first, like I was always like athletic and I was like a dancer. I mean, I trained in dance for a little bit, like with my theater background and shit, but like I fell off that when I got sober. I gained like I was like 40 pounds heavier than I am now. Like I was mad thick and like just sedentary, like when I got sober. And like and that's when I got back into, I hadn't watched wrestling since I was a kid, and I I got back into it and was watching it. And then I went to an independent show in Whitehall, New York, and I seen these chicks having this match. I was like, yo, if they can do it, I can fucking do it. I was like, I knew that I was gonna have to fucking train. I was like, yo, I'm mad out of shape. I like whatever. But so it took me 2 years of I started going to the gym. I started tracking my calories. I lost like 40 pounds, got back into like what I looked like before, and had just, had to build my muscles back up to be an athletic person before I could even think about like going in and trying to train. So it's a big preparation.
Wrestling is a lot. And I remember I had friends that were wrestlers. I had a few friends that were independent wrestlers, and I helped out with a couple of shows they had. And the process, I learned how to take down the ring, put up the ring, that whole thing. Like people think it's bouncy. No, it's not. And then the first time I ever, like I was supposed to be like the enforcer for my friend, like, like a Kevin Nash type of guy with him. And I didn't have to take no bumps or nothing. I just did a clothesline, whatever, which was fun. Sweep the legs, whatever, try to like, mess with the ref. I did that a few times, but the first time I actually fell, like not fell, but like hit that mat, is when I realized, oh, this ain't for me. This ain't for me. This is, oh Lord, no. Y'all do this every day? This is your regular for $20? No, I'm good. Yeah. I'll be a ring announcer or something, like, or whatever the case. Like, let me put the ring back up. I put the ring up and take it down. Yeah. I learned it's not. I love the spectacular things of it, the looks and everything, but to be in that ring, I give everyone who chooses to do it every respect in the world, because it takes a toll on the body after a while. And just that one time I hit the mat, I was like, I'm out. I'm out. Get me out of here. I'm good. I would never want to take a bump ever. Like the rope itself too. God, you got to swing back and forth. They really make it look super, super easy. And
I love running back and forth in the ropes. We would just train where it's like you got to go back and forth, and then you have one person going this way, one person going this way. You got to time it. Like, there's a lot.
Did you get that like that scar like under your armpit area, like under your arm, because you're like going over the rope, like the back and forth?
I think it was like over,
not under your armpit, but like on the side.
Yeah, like over here. Well, when I was training, I would always have like a t-shirt on, so it's not like in there like with no shirt on, like hitting the ropes. But like, I used to bruise. So, oh my God, if I knew we were gonna come across this, if I took pictures of some of the bruises that I used to get, like on my arms, and it was so bad. Like, I used to get like huge fucking bruises. Like when we would be doing like, the fuck are they called? Hip tosses and shit.
Yes.
Drills, hip moves over and over again. I would have crazy bruises, and like now like my current athletic pursuit is like aerial arts and pole dancing. And like sometimes when I get bruises like on my arms from doing stuff like that, it reminds me of like my wrestling. Like, even that's the closest thing, honestly, like those type of conditioning drills.
Yeah.
When you train in a studio, like from instructors, like that's honestly like the closest thing.
Now your love for wrestling, and that's how you met your friend. Yeah. What was it, Lord Willing?
Yeah.
That's how you met him, and I believe I've seen him a few of your videos performing, right?
Yeah. We had a couple of songs that we did together.
Yeah, and I think hearing that is really dope for anyone to anyone hearing this and listening to your story, because it's always good to have somebody in your corner, no matter especially just to have somebody that believes in you. It's a great. It's a feeling beyond measures, like, to know that somebody is believing in you, not even just putting money, but they believe in you like wholeheartedly, like that you can do it, no matter what it is, music or school or wrestling, whatever the case. But the fact that this person believes in you, has faith in you, and it's giving you all that positive energy, that means a lot, and especially from what you was coming from, and hanging around with the wrong folks, because they what's that thing they say, you are who your friends are.
Right. Yeah. Show me I'll show you who you are. Some shit like
that. Yeah. So it's like you went from having friends that was not doing the right thing and you were doing the wrong thing yourself. You went down a certain path, and but then you went to a dark place, and then you found the light, and then you end up having a more of a positive friendship in your life. And look where you are now. It just kind of like shows like the different choices that we make, and like the friendships that we have. Like, certain friends really do kind of like impact us, in certain ways that you don't realize until sometimes till it's almost over. The fact that he did that is really dope, and I commend him on that, because not everybody gets that chance to have friends like that, and for you to be able to have that friend, and to do all that for you, like, that's really dope, and for you to keep pushing and to be where you are, that's a big, aberration for you too. Like, you did it, You really did it. So, I mean, for you to have this album right now, I mean, jeez, who'd have thought?
Yeah.
You know, who'd have thought?
I had those notebooks I had those songs in that notebook for mad long, and like, it's just crazy. Like what I was writing, I'm glad that I wrote everything. Like had been writing songs like since I was a teenager. Like I'd always wrote songs and like wrote poetry, and like I was an English major, so like writing just comes naturally to me. But like, I'm glad I had those songs to like capture like where my head was at that point in time, because like if I was gonna go back and try to write songs about addiction
right
now, my perspective would be totally different. Like so much time passed. Like, not to say that I couldn't go back with one stupid decision, even though one stupid decision with my drug of choice, I'd probably die. I'd most like 99% die. But like after so much time has passed, like I can't bring myself back to those moments, especially being in prison. Like there's some lines in that, like, I don't know. I'm really proud of the lyrics that I wrote, like the lyrical content of that album. Like I really thought that, I was like, I read them back and I was like, damn, like, yo, some of these are really good. But like I have like literary elements in there. Like I'm not just like one lady that I used to work with at a nonprofit was like, this is not like didactic storytelling about like a drungalog or like, you know, drugalog.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like this is like actual, there's literary elements in here. There's like allegory, metaphor and shit. I was like, yeah, you know, I went to college for English, so I studied this shit. But I mean, I'm glad I put that knowledge to use. And I'm glad it was sitting there. Cause I mean, 7 years ago, I was sitting reading those, I read those poems. Now this chick, one of the chicks I read them to is dead now. Like I read the whole thing to a couple girls I was in a long-term 9 to 12 month rehab, like when I was on parole, like 9 to 12 months in a house with 19 other women. You live there. It's fucking crazy. Like that is doing time on the street. That's doing time on the street. But like, I remember one of them saying to me like, yo, you could really do something with this. Like this chick is dead. This girl, Lexi, you know, rest in peace. Like she was like, you could really, like, you could make something out of this if you really put your all into this. And I was like, damn. So like, I don't know. I'm just glad that I did it because I originally wrote those lyrics and like I didn't have any of the music. So the only thing that I wrote recently last year, as I wrote the guitar parts like as I was going to record. Like I would have a session like every month or something. It probably took me like 6 months to record all 10 songs, honestly. Well, to record them all and then mix them and whatever. But like, we'll have them mixed by my engineer. I would just write the guitar parts like as I go. It was coming back to me, and it's like I was like learning how to play guitar again after not playing for like 5-6 years. So it's like shit was coming back to me, and so I didn't have the music back then. Like I didn't have the guitar parts, but I had like the lyrics. So that's the only thing. But like, who knows? I'm better at writing. I'm better at writing guitar parts now than I was back then. Anyway.
Now, what's it kind of like when you like when you're in a studio and trying to get the right melody, like the right music and the melody right for certain songs? Did it take you long, or did it kind of like fall into place when you heard the right stuff and, you know, from just writing, you know, in a pad with no music at all? Because sometimes it can be hard to find the right songs, like the right beats and everything for certain things that never had a beat to it, never had any type of instrument to it, you know.
So I always wrote like, I was always the kind of writer that wrote like I would write lyrics first, just as I would write lyrics first, just as like a poem, like not even as a song. I knew they were going to be songs, but like I would always write lyrics first. And then that's why like, maybe that's why in the past, like when I was younger, I would struggle to like write the song, guitar parts after, but like, I always wrote them first. But, so that's like when I started like working with Lord Willin, and he would send me like beats. As you know, producers like all over the world, like sending them beats and stuff. Like the first song we wrote, like that was the first, and I wrote the hook for it because I've sang a bunch of. I'm probably like, I have this one folder in my phone that says like tracks with Chris, like, and there's like 50 tracks. Well, it's different versions, but like I've sang so many hooks and whatever. Like I'm like featured on a bunch of his stuff. Like if you go to my Spotify and you scroll down, it says like appears on. But like writing with him over a beat, like to a beat, like that was the first time I ever wrote lyrics to a beat that was already there. And like, that's how he's always done it. So
right.
And we're in the middle of working on an album right now. Like we're doing a whole album, we like as a duo, where like, cause he's getting more, where he's just singing, like he's not rapping at all on this.
Right.
Album. So we have this producer in Cambridge, Mass, the Archetype, who is like, I mean, this guy is no joke. Like he won like Boston Producer Engineer of the Year a couple times, 2018. Like he's incredible. Like I don't know if you're familiar. Our connection to him is that. Chris's connection to him is the rapper Slane, who's also an actor. Like, he was in movies like The Town. But he's like,
I think I heard it. Yeah, I heard of this.
He's a really well known, like as far as like independent rap goes, like he's really well known. Like,
okay.
He has like a big fan base in the world of independent rap, and he was also part of the group La Coca Nostra. That also had like Everlast and DJ Lethal. And
Yes. Okay, I knew that name. It was like Susie to Everlast.
Oh my God,
Susie to Everlast.
All 5 faves. So I cover one of his songs on my Instagram. I think when I was just messing around playing like reels and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, so that's his connection because that's his friend, and like, so he was already recording like rap.
Right.
At that studio with him and like buying beats off of him and then writing to it and then going there and recording it. So like what we do now like the Archetype is like a multi-instrumentalist, like a just brilliant musician overall. So the album that we've been working on, like we have 4 songs recorded so far, and we're about to go back a week from this coming Monday to do another one. It's all me. I write like an acoustic guitar part. So I'll bring that, and then we'll have like our lyrics, and we'll have like the song structure. So I'll go in and record that, and then he builds the rest of the production around it, like in there in the studio on the spot, like in a 4-hour session, like while we're there. So like I'll take the guitar part, that's the base of it, and he'll start putting the drums, like maybe a little keyboard. He'll put like, he plays guitar, like he plays guitar in bands, like he's like, he plays blues guitar. Like this dude is no joke. Like he whipped out the Telecaster like 2 sessions ago and was like soloing out. Like this next song that we're going on Monday. Like I specifically have like a 12-bar spot. I was like, I'm going to ask him to solo over this. I'm not writing no lyrics. Like I'm just want him to do that. So it's like, it all gets built around that. So it's like not even so much like, and that's the theme of an album. The album, it starts with an acoustic guitar part, which really, honestly, like it fades. I don't want to say it fades to the background, but it's like that's the structure, like the base of the song. But it's like everything that goes around it that like makes the song. Like even my little brother, I sent him the track that we did the last track we did. He was like, "Oh my God, that's the best song you have so far. Like the production is excellent. Like this shit is no joke. Like I trust you, so I'll send you one of the unreleased tracks."
Oh yeah, I gotta hear that. I got to. Yeah, that was dope. Thank you.
But like, so for people watching this podcast, like if you wanted to listen to, so there's a song by Slane, Slaine, called It Catches You. So that's produced by the Archetype, and that starts with an acoustic. It's probably him, the Archetype, playing. If I had to guess, it would be him playing acoustic guitar, and then the production built around it. It's like that song inspired me. I'm doing this whole album when I heard that. And then also the other song I'm not gonna lie, the other song that gave me the idea to do it like this was "Go Flex" by Post Malone.
I can't lie. Post Malone has some hits. He has some bangers.
I'm not like a huge fan or anything, but like
he has some catchy stuff. Now, with you in this joint venture, this joint album now with you and Lord Willing. Now, are you guys gonna are you gonna have a group name, a duo name, or
Willing and Maddie?
Okay. So we're going with the name. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So because we did a couple songs, we have a couple of videos out. One was like Lord Willing featuring me. Yeah, I think I don't know how we build it on Spotify, but like, a lot goes into it.
You're on Spotify. That's dope. You got your stuff out there.
It's cool. It's anybody can like do it. This is the thing about doing music is like the reason I stopped for so long is like I'm the type of person, like if I want to do something, I'm gonna do it. Like for wrestling, I was like I want to go train to be a professional wrestler. Like I'm gonna go to training. I train 3 times a week. Like my whole life was like based around that. My lifting schedule, my meal plan, like everything.
Right.
And then around my job. Like for music, I feel like the reason I fell off for so long, I had no direction of like how to do it, like actually go in and do it. Like I don't just play guitar like just for fun or whatever. Like I do this shit seriously. So I felt I had no direction, or like, you know, I didn't know how possible it was to just put out music. Like I had one friend, this chick Claire Promise out of Albany, New York, where I'm from, that I was in rehab with. Actually, we used to like sing and write songs and shit like in rehab. And she's the one who actually inspired the Prison Notebook, because she showed me her notebook full of songs that she wrote in Albion when she was there. And then in the rehab I got kicked out of, and that's why I went to prison. But like, I mean, I had seen her doing music videos, and I don't know if I don't know if she's on Spotify, like if she was on all the platforms or she was just putting stuff on SoundCloud. But like, and I almost, you know, it is very saturated. Like that's the thing. It's like anybody can do it, but everybody's doing it. You know what I mean? You don't need a record contract to record. Like when I started putting clips of like recording me in the studio recording stuff, like on my Instagram, people be like, "Oh my God, you're recording?" I'm like, "Yeah, this shit is like, this studio was like $40 an hour. Like you can in there and like just record whatever."
It's easy to record in places. It's just hard to be seen because, like you said, it's saturated. You know, the market is saturated with so many different artists, and that can get you, you know, sometimes that can get you jaded a little bit. Sometimes it can give you like, you want to like say, screw it, you know, I'm not, you know, this is not working. No one's looking at me. But if you keep pushing, eventually you never know, because somebody's always watching. Somebody's always, you know, got an ear out for something, you know, and you never know who knows somebody, you know, you just don't. And no, you just gotta have that one person that one day be like, "Hey, I heard this song," and then, you know, that, you know, you're on everything. Yeah, you know, you just never know.
Look at Jelly Roll. Like Jelly Roll is like a household name. Like we just went and saw him at the Xfinity Center in Mansfield. Like this dude is like selling out, not stadiums, but selling out like large indoor, outdoor venues, like large venues. He's selling out like that. He had that one song, like he was an underground rapper, like for years. Like
that's the one with the weird haircut, right?
He's the one with the tattoos all over. He's big. He's like 300, maybe 400.
Oh, okay. I think we're on a different person. Okay, Jelly Roll. Okay, yeah, I get what you know you're talking about now.
So, you know, started as a rapper, and turns out like this guy can sing. Yo, he can sing. Like,
you know what? Yes, I got a couple of his songs on my phone. Yeah, because he's singing. He is singing right now, and yes, he has a song that really, I forgot the name of it, but a friend of mine sent it to me. He's like, "Yo, take me later," and I listened to it. It's like, I don't know who the hell this guy is, but I'm gonna download it now. And he had the stuff, and I found out he was a rapper. Yes, so
he was dope too. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
So like, I mean, he had been doing that for years, and then he had this one song, "Save Me," that's like an acoustic song, and
that's what it is. That's the song. Yes.
Yeah, Save Me. So,
oh my God, so good.
Like 4 open chords. Like anybody that can play guitar, that knows basic chords, can play that song. It's not complex at all.
But it's the
lyrical content and
the lyrical content and the emotions. The emotion he put in that song is like, as soon as I heard it, I was like, a minute into it, I was like, I am in it. I'm here.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying
I'm here. I live here now.
I mentioned that like it's the guitar part is so simple, is because it's like that's what really makes it, is like the lyrical and the emotion. Like, and that song blew up with no paid promotion. It just like went viral. No paid.
That's a beautiful thing.
Nothing. Now I put I'll always put I'll put like hundreds of dollars into promotion. Like when I put out like I'm Still Alive video, like I'm glad you saw it. I did some promotion with that one, and it just like sometimes the algorithm, even if you put into it, like it just doesn't take off. But like that video had my nieces in it, my 3 nieces.
Yes.
Out of Buffalo, New York. Like that was just something nice that I wanted to do for my family. It turns out like I wanted to just put it out because I was like, oh, I should do a video, because the Albion Nights, like I did 2 videos off this album. So one of them, the Albion Nights video, which I'll play that song, but like, I'm wearing the same leather jacket in the video, the same leather jacket, the same scarf that I wore. I was homeless in. Like, I had my hair and my makeup done like the same way I used to do it when I was like out there getting high, like huge, like Amy Winehouse fucking black eyeliner. And fucking, I would just sit there. It was filmed on Central Ave in Albany outside of one of the domestic violence shelter that, that I was in the last month that I was out there getting high. So it was kind of just like I was trying to recreate like me back then.
I could totally see you with the cat eyes.
I used to do it all the time. Now I just get my eyelashes done.
Yeah, I can totally see it now. And now you say Amy Whitehouse, and I'm just thinking about the outfit, the eye stuff. I'm like, yeah, I definitely can see that now. I can see it.
But so that's why I wanted to do the I'm Still Alive video, because it was like I only picked, that's not honestly the song I would have picked as a single. There's a couple other songs I would have picked as a second single, but like I did that one because I kind of thought it was like something dope that I felt like that would be the best one. It would make sense to have my nieces in because I wanted to have one. And so that was a really dope video. And that was done. The video was done by this guy, Ian Brennan, out of Lockport, New York, that I met through, friends of friends. Like I was just looking for somebody that did videos out there. And he did a really good job. Like, it's so simple, but it's like he captured so many moments and like put them together so nicely. Like he captured all these moments like with my nieces, and we were out like filming in front of like Lake Ontario. It was really cool. Like that was a cool experience. But I wouldn't pick that. I'm like, oh, this is a good song. It's not probably the one I would have picked as a single, but I'm glad I did it because it was like I didn't want the only video of me out there being one of me trying to look like I looked like when I was a junkie on the street, like not to be insensitive. Like I can say junkie, I was one, but like politicians
I get it.
Didn't use that word, but like when I was an active heroin addict, like I was trying to recreate that look. So I was like, I should probably do one where it's like me today, not just trying to look.
It's crazy that you say, you were, and I commend you, and I admire, what it took for you to get to where you are now. And but it's so crazy to think of you at one point being under that type of influence, and because I've seen what people look like, matter of fact, I've seen it a few times when I go outside, but to think like you were one of those type of people, you just never know, what people are going through to get to certain places. And and it's like, dang, I can imagine. I can't even imagine you at that point, because I see you right now, healthy and smiling, and everything is like, wow, you at a point in your life, you were there, you look like somebody completely different,
8 years is a long time. Like 8 years is a good amount of time.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had 7 years when I did these videos, so like, I don't know. It's just like now, before I did what I do now, like. I was a professional recovery advocate. I worked for an organization called Friends of Recovery New York. That I'm like sober. I don't even smoke weed. Look at my shirt. I just love Cypress Hill. I just seen that. I'm like talking about recovery and I got a weed plant. Like whatever. Weed is medicinal. Like, but or it's like, don't get me started. But anyways, I worked for a recovery organization that's like a statewide recovery organization from New York State, because I'm from upstate New York. And I was like, I started off like as a, project assistant or something. I was like an entry level clerical position for this, administrative assistant kind of. But like they saw that I had all these community connections. Like I was already a part of like different advocacy organizations like Vocal New York. Like shout out to Vocal New York. I would like be on the news, like giving a press conference, giving a speech or whatever, like in a press conference, like, cause I was really into like activism, like harm reduction activism, like, telling people about like how Narcan saves lives, overdose prevention centers save lives, blah, blah, blah. So I started doing that. So I was like, in this administrative assistant role, but like I was doing so much in the community that it kind of took on a little more. But like that's what I was doing beforehand was like I was a recovery advocate. I eventually was like promoted, I guess you could say, into I worked for the sub organization Youth Voices Matter New York, which is like an organization. It's for youth age. Well, the age range is 13 to 30, but basically Youth Voices Matter, YVM New York does is like connect youth age 13 to 30 with recovery resources in their community. So like treatment is episodic. It happens in a treatment facility. Like when I'm in rehab, I'm in treatment, or when I go to outpatient, I'm in treatment. So like recovery happens in communities. Like there's a lot of emphasis on like, you know, people in treatment. But like this organization was like, you know, kind of trying to bridge the gap between like getting people out of treatment and like into recovery in the community, whatever. But like they don't pay shit. Like I couldn't even pay rent. Like I couldn't even pay my bills. Like I couldn't do I couldn't do anything. I wouldn't have any money for any of this music. I wouldn't have bought this $2,000 guitar with cash. Like
that's the thing with it comes to doing.
Can't do it.
That's the thing with doing jobs that are great for the community, and you're able to help people, and you know, let people know certain things, and just you're trying to be a good person and do that. But the pay just doesn't add up at times for it. It just, you know, it's not going to pay your bills the way that you want. You know, this is why superheroes don't get paid. You know, like superheroes never get paid. You know, so it's basically doing a superhero job with little bit of pay. That's it. You're not going to ever get the same amount.
It's a labor of love. Like people.
That's what it is. That's definitely what the word is. That's what it is. A labor of love.
Now, mind you, I was making probably like 40 to 45K, which in 2023, like, is not shit. Maybe 10 years ago, like 40 to 45K, you could live off of. But like,
don't even get me started on that. Oh my god.
But like, I mean, now, mind you, the upper level, the not CEO, what the hell is the lady's called? The boss. She made 6 figures. She was the only one. But like, you know, these people would make like 60, 70. So it's like you can probably afford to pay rent and a car payment like on that. But like, you know, when I was making like 40s, like in the 40s, like I lived in my one homegirl's basement for mad long. Like I stayed at her house. I mean, I wasn't always in the basement when her son got sick. I went down that, like I was like staying with a friend because I was like in a bad situation for like 5 years. I left. I was homeless. I was homeless with 7 years clean. Like I was couch surfing for a lot of people like in recovery. And then my one friend, Kathleen, like was like, no, just come stay with us. You can stay as long as you need. And so I stayed there until I moved to Rhode Island. But like, I couldn't even like, I couldn't record it. It's just like, you can't, it just sucks because it's like, labor of love. And I can't imagine people go to college and have student loans and then start working at places like I can't even imagine. Don't get me started.
But the fact that you had to do all that, I think also helps your music too, because you have all those trials and tribulations to add to your music to make it that much deeper and realer for other people to like relate to. Right. And people who are probably going through it at that moment, and they can listen to your song and listen to your message and listen to your story, and it's like, oh, she went through some stuff similar, and look what she's doing right now. So maybe I could do the same thing too. Like, you know, let me challenge myself because she did it. Let me do it too. Right. You know, kind of like what you like listen, like watching your friend, you know, be on, you know, on SoundCloud or whatnot, and that kind of that inspire you to like pursue what you want to do more yourself. And you know, look where you are. You know, you've gotten this far, so it's just like
music videos.
I mean, I feel like you're like one click away, one you know, little like just one click or hey, you got to hear this type of, you know, text message to the right person. And, you know, you never know. You know, hey, like 6 months from now, it'll be a whole different situation for you.
I hope so. Hopefully 6 months from now, we're like just getting ready to put out this Will and Maddie album. Like we have a lot of I
have high hopes for you.
I have high hopes for this album. Like this shit is so dope. Like everybody that we've sent it to, and now like he has friends that are in the music industry. Like he knows so many people. He's been a rapper for 15 years, however long, 10, 15,
right?
Long. Everybody that we've sent this to, people that, you know, that are in the music, they're like, yo, that's a hit. Like we have this one song called Dead Friends that's about like, I miss my dead friend. Like it was inspired by, I have this tattoo that says, I miss my dead friends. Like, and that was just a piece of flash that my best friend, Casey Leanza, shout out to Casey, that has been working on my sleeve since I was like 19, and she lives in Kansas City now. But like, that was a piece of flash that she wrote or she drew, because, you know, she has a similar path. But like, I saw that, I was like, yo, I need that. And so I got that, and like I don't know, I just was thinking about it because I think that like the overdose numbers, even just in New York State,
yeah,
the overdose numbers last year alone are like there were more recorded overdose deaths last year than like several of the previous years combined. And those are only ones that are being recorded as over, because not every actual overdose death is recorded as such, because
right.
of the stigma around, you know, addiction and stuff. Like a lot of people's family won't talk about like when they, you know,
that's true.
Like, I've seen people die. Like I had a friend that died last year that I'd known since I was in, one of my little brother's friends, who like he died as a direct result of his drug use. But like when he died, like his friends and his family like didn't mention what it was from, didn't say anything about blah blah blah. And it's like that because of the shame and the stigma surrounding it.
Right.
And I'm speaking about this like in the context of like the song Dead Friends.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Like when you just like cover it up and hide what really happened, like in my opinion, and I can say my professional opinion because I was a professional advocate. You're just people that do that are just they're prolonging prolonging the stigma. They're perpetuating. That's the word.
Yeah.
I had a whole spiel about this like 6 months ago. Perpetuating the stigma. Like just talk about like somebody talking about what really happened could prompt a conversation that could, you know, put somebody in the position of getting help. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
a lot of time people like to sweep things under the rug.
Yeah.
And don't talk. It's better if we don't talk about it. But no, it's better if we do. Maybe if we do talk more about certain things, maybe certain things don't happen to people, you know, but you know, a lot of times people are like so like, you know, they don't want people to judge them. They don't want people to look at them a certain way or look at their family a certain way.
Right.
So they just make a lie up or just try to ignore any of it happened. And but it should, you know, speak up more about it. Just, you know, this is happening. This does happen to a lot of people. We have to find a way to stop this. We have to find a way to end all of this. And it happens a lot more than we think, you know, with people's families and stuff when people pass away. And it's hard. It's a sad thing. But I am been waiting to hear you do this for, you know, to jump to the next thing. Because I've been wanting for this moment. Because for the first time ever, I could have a live performance on this podcast. Like I've been saving this just for you.
Oh, like, thank you.
Like you've been, you know, you're the third artist to be on the show. Shout out to ATO and Chandler. You know, I love both of those guys, and I was just at Chandler's concert at the Webster the other day, last Thursday, and it was awesome. But this is the very first performance on this pod, and just for you, I knew I wanted to have you on the show to you know, perform, you know, just, you know, to show your talent, you know, and put, you know, let people hear your voice, hear what you got. So
I'm nervous. I mean, I had practice last night. Like I haven't even been playing these songs. I've been like playing my new songs, like practicing those to have those like on deck. So I was glad you had. I was like, let me play some of these songs.
Wait, I'm ready. I know. I've been ready for this. This is amazing. I know we had to wait for a guitar to get fixed and whatnot. And,
no, guitars was just like messed up. Like
it's been a whirl. It's been a whirlwind. But I'm glad we're here.
I kept falling out of tune. I was like, I just went and bought a new one. So I got this nice ass Gibson.
That's a beautiful guitar. Is that like a brownish? Like a? Like, oh yeah. Yeah, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. Man, that's a nice guitar. Beautiful. All right, y'all. What's the name of the song?
Okay, it's called Albion Nights.
Albion Nights. This is Albion Nights by Madeline Hogan on the BearatNight podcast. Yeah, let's go.
All right. I hope this goes. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I got you.
The taste, the smell, the sight, the buzz, the only one I'm thinking of. Apply the scheme of misery, manipulation, larceny. We rise above or else we fall into the life we know too well. When all else fails, we are taken away from what we think we love. It was time that I left. Say goodbye, no regrets for better or worse. You have made me what I am. And it's too late to try to start again. That ship has sailed the 7 seas and the 7 sins. I had to manifest. Who would I be if I never met you?
I'm gonna cut it there because hold on. That's a sample. I'm not gonna play the whole
sample. Okay.
Put that back.
I mean, I'm still appreciated that you got to play. You're the first live performance I ever had on the show, so I'm happy. I'm a happy camper. This is dope. Thank you for blessing the BearatNight podcast. With your performance. This is
yeah.
So
I'll send you the link
cool.
to the video that is good.
Okay, I'm with it. I'm with it.
To like both the videos, but
okay. Now what I wanted to ask you earlier. What are who are your influences? In music, like.
Let's see. So my two favorite singer. I feel like my two favorite singers, honestly, female singers of all time, are Amy Winehouse and like Etta James. Like I like to listen to a lot of like, blues and old jazz and shit. Like I love like Ella Fitzgerald and shit like that. But of course, like Amy Winehouse, she loved all that shit.
Yeah.
Diana Washington, all that shit. But yeah, stuff like that. But then also like I realized recently one of my biggest vocal influences, and I feel bad because that was horrible. Like I can't even sing right now. One of my biggest influences was the band Sublime. So like vocal influences, Brad Noah, like
okay.
I sing along to his stuff like all the time. Like when I'm singing, like he has a very, if you just like listen to his voice, he had like it's like reggae, ska, rock. I never realized till recently like what a huge influence he was on me. But like I don't know, I love a lot of like 90s stuff.
I kind of heard like a Joni Mitchell.
Oh, word. I'm not even like I'm not like even super, I respect her, but like she's cool. I don't really know her like that. I'm not super familiar.
No, it's just like the just a little bit in there. Like, I'm like, there's only like a little bit of Joni Mitchell in that. Just I can hear a little bit in there. And there was somebody else that came to mind. Oh, gosh. She's blonde. I can't even think. Man, it's gonna come to me after this pod, and matter of fact, it's probably gonna come to me like when I'm like deep in sleep or something, like whatever, and don't have to text it to you like, oh, it's her, But yeah, I hear like a couple of influences there, but yeah, Matt, I'm looking forward to hearing this album with you and Laura Willing to like, see what happens.
Very few people get to hear. Well, not very few, but like only certain people. You could be one of those certain people that gets to hear these unreleased tracks.
I'm feeling so cool.
Get nothing with it, but you can tell me what you think.
I'm in the cool kids. I'm with the cool kids now. I'm in the cool kids club. Yeah, I finally made it, Mom. I finally made it. Man. Okay, so I won't hold too much time, and I really appreciate you for coming on. Where can people find you and find your music?
Word. So my Instagram is Snowcahanis, SNOWCAHONTA.
Snowcahanis?
Snowcahanis. This chick in prison that was half Puerto Rican, she called herself a Puerto Rican. She gave me that name, and that's been my Instagram handle since 2014 when I got out, and I'm not changing it ever. That's the name. I'm just keeping it like that. But so my Instagram is Snowcahanis, or you can look up, Madeline Hogan. I'm on Spotify. I'm on all the platforms.
Awesome.
So I'm all up there, but all those links are like on my Instagram. So yeah.
Yes. I'm amazed. I'm amazed, and thank you for sharing your story and performing. This has been amazing. I hope you guys, are however you guys are taking this, digesting this video or audio, go follow this young lady on all the platforms and buy her album, listen to the album, support the artists. Okay,
for free.
Yeah, you can buy, you can listen for free, but just saying, when she performs somewhere and she posts it, go to the show. That'd be great. Buy a ticket. Do something. Support your local artist. Damn it. Like what is this? Like this? What is this? Support your local business. But
yeah, support your local business. Yeah.
But oh man, this has been awesome. I really appreciate the whole thing, and thank you guys so much for watching or listening. Remember, every Tuesday there's an episode, so stay tuned. And this is your boy Dom. This is Madeline Hogan, everybody. Madeline Hogan. No relation to Hulk Hogan. No relation. And this is the BearatNight podcast. Remember, be yourself, bear it all. Or is it bear it all? I keep messing up my own tagline, my own little thing. It's bear it all, and be yourself. See, there you go. This is the BearatNight podcast. Talk to you guys later. Peace.
Yeah.
You are now listening to BearatNight Podcast with your host, Jurassic Parker.